Has Love already had his procedure?
From my understanding, it'll happen this morning. So probably close to it.
Matt, did it happen on a handoff to Chris Brooks or the
No.
last? He was sacked.
It was on that last play. Or, I mean, on the sack.
Did he aggravate it yesterday, or was it like, did he, after going through it, was it like, we need to do something about this?
No, he powered through yesterday. I thought he did a nice job. Some unconventional handoffs, but, I mean, you do what you got to do. It's not the first time I've seen that from a quarterback where you're basically handing everything off with your right hand. So, I thought he did a nice job yesterday being able to get through everything. It wasn't a factor on like any of the snaps, whether it was gun or under center, because that was my initial concern, was that it's going to impact on how we do things, and it seems to be okay.
What was his level of pain or discomfort? Did he say anything about just how?
You guys are going to have to ask him that.
How does this impact the next week or two, as far as you got to get up to speed offensively, you got young receivers to incorporate and all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, but that's life in the National Football League. You got to adapt, you got to adjust, and we'll try to make the best of it. Just like I've said with many of our guys, you never want your guys, you don't want anybody to miss practice, whether it's a starter or a backup. It doesn't matter. We want everybody there working on their craft, putting in the work to get better. But when somebody's not there, it's an opportunity for somebody else. So you just got to try to look at it glass half full and try to make the best of the situation.
Matt, if you obviously dealt with Aaron breaking his thumb on his throwing hand in 22, how does the offhand affect a player, even if he has the surgery now and is better? How does it affect his performance?
Well, if it limits you in your ability to go out there and perform the task at hand. And from what no pun intended there, from what I've been understanding, that it's a pretty relatively quick recovery. So hopefully we'll be able to get him back out in some capacity sometime next week to work on and work through, because I've never personally dealt with a situation like this. So there's going to be some learning curve along the way in terms of how do we adapt and how do we adjust.
Matt, obviously you wanted to have the reps of going through a joint practice and potentially preseason game, all that, but do you think you'll just be able to kind of still be there, participate in plan, practice, film, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know until he gets back here and see how he feels. I mean, we'll see. Obviously, he'll be out this week. And then I would put it highly unlikely that he plays for Seattle. As far as the practice is concerned, I can't tell you that at this moment.
More of an opportunity for Malik Willis. How have you seen him grow over last year? Where does he need to take that next step in your mind?
I just think putting together consistent performances, and I thought, considering the circumstances, I can't imagine him going out and doing much better than he did last season. I think he was here less than 3 weeks, and he had to start a football game, or was it 19 days or something like that? And he went out and he led our team to a couple victories, which I think is pretty impressive. So I love what Malik's been able to do in his short time here in regards to a lot of the core fundamentals that I think are critical in terms of producing good quarterback play. I think he's really honed in on the mechanics and fundamentals of that, and hopefully he can continue to progress.
He's throwing his share of interceptions in camp. What do you see going on there? And do you think part of it is him wanting to play more from the pocket in practice to improve his reads? Or?
Yeah, every situation's a little bit different. We'd have to go through the reel, and I could explain to you on everything when it was a bad decision or a bad ball, or maybe somebody else messed up. I mean, that's just a byproduct of it. But he had two yesterday, and one was a bad throw. He just missed the throw, and the other one the ball got batted, and sometimes that happens.
Good.
Good. Can I ask one other thing?
No, you cannot.
What do you think of the overall health through camp? It had been going pretty well. Do you feel pretty good about the overall health?
No,
of
I
your
don't.
team?
I mean, right now, I don't. I mean, we're missing a lot of key players that are integral to our success as a football team. So, you know, it is what it is. It's an opportunity for some other guys, but we definitely had some injuries strike up at some positions where it's made us pretty thin.
I think other teams have canceled joint practices because of so many injuries. Was there any thought to doing that this week?
No.
Are you okay at running back? I know Jalen was out and looked like Israel got banged up late yesterday.
I mean, we're a little thin there, yeah.
So overall, how did yesterday's practice go? I saw some push-ups going on at the end. What do you want to accomplish today before Thursday's important?
Yeah, I just think that there's a lot to clean up. I thought in terms of the energy and the effort was where it needed to be. I still think there's another level of detail that we need to clean up, because I think the detail personally is what separates good from great. I mean, you can do the right assignment, but use a bad technique, or it's not just exactly the way you want it, and the play's gonna go to hell potentially. You know, it's all, the guys got to understand that detail is typically what separates in this league. And so I think there's a lot that we can clean up. You know, it's a double-edged sword when we're out there at practice in regards to if the defense does well, the offense doesn't, and vice versa. And so you try to look at it, you know, take the positives from each. But I just think on both sides of the ball, there's some communication that absolutely needs to get cleaned up. And then there's some of the techniques that we got to continue to hone and get cleaned up before the start of the regular season, certainly.
And Matt, going back to Pete's question, now you've got Jordan where he's at, you got Reed and Wicks and Watson. What's the best way to figure out how to hit the ground running offensively when you're dealing with all this when the season starts?
That's a great question. I think that's something that we got to figure out along the way, and I know we will, and we'll have a plan for it. We've been in, I would say, similar situations in the past, so you always lean into that. But ultimately, you just got to, every day is a new day in this league, and you just got to be ready to adapt and adjust.